Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's the end of the week, and the last video for the week I'm going to be doing the Fanhome 1989 Batmobile. So today I'm going to be doing stages 21 to 26. Now if you remember, in the last pack we were actually working on the suspension and the brakes and stuff like that. We've got some big parts in this one, so I don't quite know what we're doing. As a matter of fact, I have laid them out here. Ugh, and it's heavy. Check that out. So I think we've got a bit of the bodywork here, but we're going to find that out together. I don't know if this is still available. You will have to check the video description and also that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at these instructions again, so let's have a look. Stage 21. We're going to still work on the machine gun here. Now, if you remember last time, that's where we got with that. We've got some, there's a magnet in there. There's a screw attached to it. That's what we had done with that machine thing. I think I'm only allowed to say that word once. And obviously we got these things here as well, which I'm going to need to dig out. But we are putting this together just like that. And this is the rest of the magazine. So, stage 21 is here. Everything is individually wrapped, so I'm going to have to get every individual thing open. Now, I have seen a lot of people modding this to make this more realistic, if you like. So, there's a mod for you. Am I going to do that? I don't know. I don't know. But I do like this. I like how this is laid out. That's good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be pushing the muzzle into the barrel housing here. It's basically going to be going in this end, and it goes in this way like that. Then they're not asking me to glue it in. It's not in that far, so I am going to leave it the way they want it at the moment. Taking what we created, and I've got a metal rod now that pushes all the way in here. Don't know how far it needs to go down. I think that's as far as I can get it. So I'm hoping that's going to be far enough, and then putting this into place over the top. It should come out the other side, I'm guessing. Let's just push that over the top. There you go. So yeah, that's holding that completely into place. Now looking at how this works, I am thinking it might be beneficial to glue that end in. I'm not going to do it yet, but you just saw that ping off, so we'll have to see. We've got a magazine to put in now. So the way we're going to put this in is I want it in this way. Put this magazine in there so that this hole is in line with this hole here. So when I lift this up, it's going to enable me to put the bullets in. And as you see, the lugs are now lined up in exactly the place they need to be. So I can push one down there, get one in here, and that's going to sit beautifully in there like that. I can then put this top down, and that's into position there. Now, we don't actually use this magnetic base. It looks like we've got magnetics here at the moment because that is all there is to do at the moment in that stage. So swiftly on into stage 22. We've done so much and we're only up to stage 22. That's encouraging. We've got some parts here for the left disc launcher. So we're going to be putting this together just like that. And again, the rest of the magazine. Where does he get those wonderful toys? Okay, here's stage 22. Once again, all the parts individually wrapped. So I'm going to have to open them all. There doesn't look like too much to do in here, actually. Now, this is metal. We're going to need to take this and this base here. I'm going to be putting this into place. So this is going to be going on here. We've got some lugs in here that need to go into the holes there. That's going to hold that into place. So it's holding itself, no problems at all. But we do want to screw this in as well. So I've got these flange screws here. These are type G screws. That's going to hold this end, which means this is definitely not coming out now. Now, I've got this bracket that we're going to be putting in around the 3 holes that we can see just down here. So line that up and push this into place. So that's sort of like a holder for the discs in there. And talking about the discs, we're now going to make one of those up, which is just a case of taking the base and this top, and there is a notch in here that we need to line up so that this can actually fit flat. There we go, we've got a disc or discus. That's more like a discus, that is. That just sits in here, but that is all we're going to be doing in that stage. Now that was the left disc launcher, so I'm guessing we're going to be doing the same for a right disc launcher. Are we doing this straight away? I think that's just answered that question. Okay, this is the rest of the magazine. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not the right one. This is still working on the left one here. So let's get all of this out. And once again, we do have another disc to put in. Now I'm going to call them discus. They are discus discs. If you ever played discus, they're exactly the same shape. I used to do discus in school, you see, so they look exactly like that. Okay. That's all we had to do, really. so putting that together is all we had to do in this stage. We've got this part and this part that we're not doing anything with. Now look, we've got the magnets that are going over here. So this is all going to be one thing. I'm guessing somehow that's going to attach in there. I'm guessing. I don't know. Let's keep that safe. God, that's got to be the quickest stage of any build. Okay, so what we're on? We're on stage 24 now. Stage 24 here. Oh, wow, we got the left front wing. This is what that big heavy part was here. So we're going to be putting that together just like this and adding some of these items here. So that's looking pretty cool. And this is the rest of the magazine. So I'm happy now that we actually get to open this and see exactly how this looks. So obviously this is a big slab of metal, and this is going to be adding on to the weight of this 1/8 scale replica of this 1989 Batmobile. And it has been packed extremely well. And look how clean that looks. That's lovely. Okay, and it's very heavy. Let me just put that to one side because we do have some parts in this support as well. Just waiting for the seagulls to stop screaming. I'm then going to be taking this part that we had in stage 23. We're going to be putting this into place. So do I want to put this on something soft? Let's just try not to move this around like this, because obviously it's going to start scratching if I do that. We're going to be putting this into place. So it's actually going to be going on like this over the lugs there, and I'm holding that in with A screws. Now the A screws are the only ones that come in this stage, and I am putting oil on these because we're going into metal. Now in this stage we've got this support piece here, which I think they're telling me is a machine gun cover. And if you look at the top camera here, it's actually going to be going over the top of these 2 points just here and here, like this. Now once again, the A screws is what's going to hold this into place. So now that's in, we have got this area here, which is where we're going to be putting the machine gun. Now, as you can see, we've got two lugs here which actually push in. The magnets are going to help us out here. Make sure that we put the bullets into this cartridge bay here. So you can probably see I'm just coming through the bottom there, but that's in place. But the way we work this, see, I thought this might be retractable. I was thinking, you know, you can push it down and it would come up and stuff like that, but that is not how this works at all. Basically, if you don't want to display it with that up, you're going to have to take this out like this. It's made to be taken out. That's why we've got magnets, and then put this top in here. So it depends how you want to display this. But that is all there is to do in that stage. Now, we do have a part left over here. I'm not quite sure where that part goes yet. I'm starting to think perhaps I should be looking at the instructions to see if I've missed something out. I don't think I have, so I'm going to keep that safe. So stage 25. Here is the instructions. And we've got the left disc compartments and two more discs that we're creating. Wow, we're going to have a whole heap of discs here. And it looks like we do actually get to put this in that wing section as well. And this is the rest of the magazine. And once again, get everything open. Make the discuses up again. So again, I'm lining up that notch inside here with the little cavity we've got. That's two more discuses done. I can't even say the word now. Okay, let's just put that to one side. I've got some screws here. I'm going to be bringing over this wing again. And this is where this is all going, into this round section just here. So the way this fits in, this is actually going to be slotting into here, just like that. And it's going to kind of be on a hinge at the end there. Now to hold this into place, If I can just get that balanced in with my finger here. Don't be afraid to let that hang down a little bit like that, because I've got this cover now to put on, which is going to go over the top and it's actually going to hold that into place. So I'm going to turn it round so you can see how this goes in, like this. That's how it's working. Okay, but we do need to attach this into place. Let's just move that to one side. So once again, I've got these A screws which are going through the holes here. Need 2 of these, so this can't come out now. And now we're in a position where I can actually load this up with all of these discuses we've got. So they actually just slip into here, you see. So 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. By the look of it, we're not going to be putting ones into this side here, but then they can close and open just like that. Perfect. The only other thing we've got left to put in is this part here, and this is what this mystery part here is for. We've got some magnets on this, so it's just a case of putting this into position, and that's in there just like that. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. I'm just trying to think how you open this easily. I think you've just got to get your thumb into it, I guess. Just like that. Look, I've dropped a disc out already. Or is that what the this part here is for? I don't know. But it seems to be working okay. But that definitely is all there is to do in that stage. Did you notice I went on full-on play with it mode then? Okay, so stage 26. Oh, here we go. The left headlights. We've got some electrics now. And we're creating the headlight here. And we are going to be putting this into that wing section by the look of it. And this is the rest of the magazine. So we are finishing with a little bit more technical stuff than we have been doing in this pack. Let's get all of this open. Okay, first thing I want is this left headlight lens that we've got here. We're going to be putting this into place. Now obviously it's going to be going into the front here. I've got discuses falling out all over the place, and I'm just going to be putting this into the back here so it fits in just like that. Now on the back of this I've got a reflector to put in. So the way this is going to be going in, it's going in this way here. It's going to be fitting over the top of this section, pushing that in. So the reflector is now behind the lens. That's also going to hold that into place. Now to ensure that goes nowhere, in this stage we've got some G screws. These are flange screws, and it's held in into that point just there. So let's put them in. And now we're going to start putting all of these wires in. Now, just seeing if they want them in a certain way. I mean, they're all labelled C, so it doesn't matter which one we're using, but we do need to bend these. So I want to bend these at a 90-degree angle here. Like that. And then I want to bend the bottom of this kind of like that way. So it's looking like that before I plumb these into place. So the way we're going to do this then is, now we've bent this, I'm going to be putting this into the point just here, into the reflector. And then I've got these holders for the LED, which looks like this, and they go in this way. Now these holders are different, each one. So you've got a small one and you've got 2 large ones here. So I'm going to repeat that for the other ones. Again, I'm going to bend this down. And then up here, put this into position here. And we're going to use one of the bigger ones here to keep this into place. Just like that. And then finally I'm using the small one now. Again, bend this down and up just like that. Put this into position here. And then I'm using the small holder to keep that one into place. And there we go. That, I'll straighten it up a little bit, is all 3 of those into place there. And that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Now obviously they haven't told us what we're doing with the wires yet. I did have a couple of my discuses fall out, so let me just clip them back in. Just like that. And then, rather than put it all back together, I think I'm going to have the thumbnail with the machine gun out like this. So, it's going to look kind of like that. I can see this being a bit funner. I think if you pull it at the back, that's how you're going to get those discuses out there. But there you go. That's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. There's some interesting design choices in there. I did think we might have a retractable machine gun, but obviously we haven't. I'm probably not going to display it with a machine gun anyway. But I don't know. I do like those discuses though. That's retractable. We can take them out and fling them at people. Should be fun. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.